For 30 years, there's been one undisputed king of the skies, a ghost, an aircraft that couldn't be touched, that couldn't even be seen. But what happens when that ghost is finally spotted? Well, tonight, we're breaking down the moment that everything changed for stealth aviation.
You know, this one sentence really sums up a massive seismic shift in military tech. And it's at the absolute core of what we're talking about today. How a weapon that was thought to be invincible was suddenly made vulnerable, sending shockwaves around the entire globe.
So before we can even get to the ambush, you have to understand the legend. We're talking about the F-22 Raptor, the absolute pinnacle of American air power. For decades, this thing wasn't just a jet, it was a statement.
And legend is really the only word for it. For 3 decades, the Raptor was it, the undisputed symbol of air supremacy. It operated with complete and total freedom, especially in those opening weeks of Operation Epic Fury, just dismantling enemy command centers, almost like it was target practice. It was seen as the ultimate apex predator, completely invisible to its enemies.
All right, let's set the scene. It is 2 o'clock in the morning, March 19th, 2026. An F-22 is flying high, flying fast, almost 10 miles up, right over one of the most contested waterways on the entire planet. For the pilot, it's just another night, another mission. But down on the ground, something very, very different is about to happen.
So while that Raptor was flying with total confidence, its adversary had been waiting patiently. They weren't planning a typical dogfight. No, they were setting a trap, and they were using a whole different set of rules to hunt this ghost.
And this, right here, is the key to the whole thing. It's a technology called IRST, which stands for Infrared Search and Track. Now forget everything you know about radar for a second. Just think of this as a huge, incredibly sensitive thermal camera. It's not looking for a plane, it's looking for heat. And this is where you see the genius of the approach. See, traditional radar is active. It's basically screaming radio waves into the sky, which is kind of like shouting in a dark room. Yeah, you might find something, but you've just told everyone exactly where you are. IRST, though, it's passive. It just sits there, completely silent, just listening for heat signature. The Iranians were giving the Raptor absolutely zero hint they were even watching. And there it is, the Raptor's one tiny vulnerability. Those two massive, powerful engines that make the F-22 such a monster in the air, they also create an unbelievable amount of heat. And against the freezing cold of the upper atmosphere, that heat becomes this tiny, glowing beacon, but only for a sensor that knows exactly what it's looking for. But here's the thing, that heat signature alone, it wasn't quite enough for a kill. So the Iranians added a second, really clever layer to their trap. They used something called L-band radar. Now, instead of high-frequency waves that stealth coatings are designed to absorb, these are long, low-frequency waves. They don't care about the fancy radar-absorbent skin, they just bounce right off the physical metal frame of the jet itself. And this is how it all comes together, in what they called their kill chain, a brutally effective 3-step process. Step 1, the passive IRST gets a faint heat detection. Step 2, they fuse that heat data with the general location they're getting from the L-band radar, and boom, they have a solid target. And step 3, they launch. The trap was sprung. Okay, so let's put ourselves in that cockpit for a second. For the pilot, everything is normal. All the systems are green. There are no warnings, no alarms, nothing. They have absolutely no idea that a missile is already screaming towards them from the ground below. And the speed, it's just terrifying. The entire thing is over in seconds. The missile ignites, it accelerates to 6 times the speed of sound, and it just eats up that 10-mile gap in a flash. It's only in the very, very last second that the missile's own radar turns on. It goes loud, just to make its final tiny correction. And this is the most chilling part of the entire story. The pilot got no warning tone, no radar lock notification on his screen, nothing. The first and only sign that he was under attack was the sky erupting in a cloud of high-explosive shrapnel. From start to finish, the ambush was completely silent. This one event, what became known as the March 19th strike, was so much more than just a tactical engagement. It instantly ignited a geopolitical inferno, and it challenged decades of military thinking in just a matter of seconds. Yeah, the fallout was immediate. All of a sudden, this core assumption of American air supremacy, an assumption built on the idea of being invisible, was thrown into question. you better believe that military planners and world leaders from Washington to Beijing had to suddenly reevaluate everything they thought they knew about modern war. Which leaves us with this terrifying, fundamental question. For 30 years, Western air power was built on a single promise: invisibility. But on that night in 2026, the ghost was seen. And it forces all of us to ask, if the apex predator of Operation Epic Fury can be hunted, is air supremacy itself just an illusion?